Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. We'll be starting in about 30 seconds. Just doing some final checks here to make sure everything is working right. I want to make sure that the audio is working, which it looks like it is. Again, we'll be starting in about 15 seconds or so. Yeah, it looks like everything's working. We'll be starting in about 6 seconds. Well, hello and welcome to this English lesson where I'm going to talk about healthy living. So healthy living has a number of different aspects to it. In English, when we use the word aspect, we mean there's a number of different parts to healthy living. And I'll try to talk about each of those parts. You can see there's a bit of a hint here, though. Part of healthy living is obviously eating healthy food, but we'll get into that in the lesson once we get started. So once again, welcome to this lesson on healthy living. Before we get started, I just want to remind you that this lesson will go for about 1 hour. I usually teach these English lessons on Friday mornings. Please use the chat, first of all, to say hi to me, I guess. Hi, everybody. There's so many people saying hello in the chat. That's awesome of you. Hi, Gary. Hi, Harry. Hi, Deshad. Hi, Julia and Jim. And Corey J is here. Madi is here. I know Alexi is here as well. Julia Olise, Lolly Lolly. Norma is here. Rachel Ting is here. Brent from American English with This Guy is here. And of course, Todd and Dave are going to be moderating the chat today. So please use the chat to have conversations with each other. If you do have a question during the lesson and it's about healthy living, please use the form that Todd or Dave or Nightbot will link to. Please don't ask questions directly in the chat. It just gets a little bit messy and crazy if you do that. So if you do have a question, please ask it using the form. Anyways, should we get started? Or should I talk about how I have to go to work in an hour? I was hoping it was going to be a snow day. A snow day is when you get so much snow you don't have to go to work. But the snow that they predicted did not come. So it looks like I'll be going to work right after this live lesson. But let's get started. So in English, we have the phrase to take care of yourself. When you take care of somebody, it means you provide food for them, you buy clothing for them. Generally, parents take care of their children. If you have a pet, you take care of your pet. You buy food, you take your pet for walks. But when we talk about healthy living, we often use the phrase to take care of yourself. It's important that you take care of yourself. So that would mean a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about in a moment. In this picture, you can see two relatively healthy looking people out for a bike ride. They are doing one of the things that you can do to take care of yourself, which is to get some exercise. But we'll talk about that a bit later. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of the phrase to take care of yourself. So not only can you take care of other people, you can also take care of yourself. And another phrase we use in English is people are always looking to find work-life balance. So balance is when two things are equal in your life. And sometimes people work too much and they don't have good work-life balance. We also sometimes say school-life balance, but generally the phrase that we use is work-life balance. And what we mean by that is you want to work, you want to have a job, but you don't want to work so much that you forget to take care of yourself. There's that phrase again. Or spend time with your family, or do things that are healthy. If you work from sun up till sundown, so from the moment the sun rises until it goes down, that's probably not healthy. I know some of you, like me, do work a lot, and it can be hard to find time to take care of yourself, but it's always good to find some work-life balance when you are working, or school-life balance if you are a student. In North America in particular, and this is not common in other parts of the world, it is in some places, but we have what's called a sedentary lifestyle. You will hear this quite often when you talk about North Americans and health. If you read a newspaper article about North Americans, Canadians and Americans. It will say some people live a sedentary lifestyle. That means that you sit a lot. Many people in North America and other parts of the world have a job where they work on a computer. And so they sit all day at work. And when they come home, they sit on the couch and maybe watch television. We would call that a sedentary lifestyle. So a sedentary lifestyle is living where you do not go for walks or exercise. You just sit around all the time. That's not healthy living. Let's see here. Mind and body. So when we talk about healthy living, we talk about taking care of your mind as well as your body. And sometimes we even say taking care of your spirit. So your spirit is more of I'm trying to think of the best word: mind, body, spirit. Your mind is your brain. Obviously, your body is your body, but your spirit is your being, what makes you who you are. And it's important to take care of all of those. So sometimes we'll say to people, you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your mind. You need to take care of your body. So one of the ways you can take care of your mind is through something like meditation. I personally don't meditate, but I think I meditate a little bit when I go for a walk. When I go for a walk, I try to clear my mind. I try to not think about work. I try to kind of think about pleasant things or just appreciate the nature around me. So meditation is just one example of something you can do to take care of your mind and to take care of your spirit. And then, of course, to take care of your body, there is exercise. So again, when you take care of yourself, one of the things you should be doing, if you're someone like me at my age, I like to go for a walk about 3 or 4 days a week, some weeks 5 days a week. And that walk is exercise for me. I also lift a little bit. I lift weights a little bit because they say it's important to take care of your muscles as well. But certainly exercise is one way to take care of your body. So all of these things are related to healthy living. So part of healthy living is that you want to be in good shape and you want to be fit. So when we talk about the body, we often say you need to exercise so that you can be in good shape. Okay. So if someone you can see that they have some muscle, you can see that they are slim, they are not overweight, you would say that they are in good shape. And it is somewhat of a compliment. It is something that's okay to say. Like you could say, yeah, my cousin Joe is in great shape. So I used great instead of good there. So it's not always polite to comment on someone else's body, but you can usually safely say that someone's in good shape. Because you're basically saying they look healthy. Like, oh, she's in great shape. She must work out. She looks very healthy. And to be fit is another phrase that's very similar. It's nice in life to be fit so that you can do things that are fun and so that you're not out of breath or feel very, very weak. I like to be fit, okay? But I'm not the most fit person in the world. I do want to thank Marcos for the super chat or for becoming a member. Thank you so much, Marcos. And I do want to add for this lesson, I'm doing a lesson on healthy living, but I'm not an expert on healthy living in practice, but I am somewhat of an expert in theory. What that means is I know what I'm supposed to do to take care of myself, but I don't always do it. Okay. So, let me see another English phrase. If you want to walk the walk and talk the talk. So I know what it means to be healthy. I know what healthy living is, but sometimes I'm not very good at it. And I think that's pretty common for a lot of people around the world. Let's keep going with the lesson though. One of the things you can do to take care of yourself is to make sure that you get enough sleep. Okay. And this is the phrase that we use to talk about sleep. Did you get enough sleep last night? Oh, I didn't get enough sleep last night. I slept really badly. I didn't get enough sleep. Sleep is very, very important if you want to be healthy. And sometimes when you're really busy, you can forget that. You can forget that sleep is super helpful. It's when your body can repair itself. So if you exercised during the day, when you sleep, your body can repair itself. So your muscles might be sore from working out, but if you get enough sleep, if you get some good sleep, your body will repair itself. It's also good for the mind. In fact, it's one of the most important things for learning. We often have students at the school where I teach that don't get enough sleep, and they find it really hard to do well in class. So it's very important to get enough sleep. And then the second one is you need to drink enough water. You could also say you need to get enough water, but we would most likely use the verb to drink. They have found more and more that people tend to not drink enough water. I probably don't drink enough water during the day. I'm going to have a sip of water right now. I try to drink enough water during the day, and especially because I talk all day. As a teacher, I'm always talking. It's probably just a good idea to make sure I get enough water, or that I drink enough water through the day. When you drink enough water, your body stays hydrated because you don't want to get dehydrated. When you're dehydrated, you don't have enough water. So it's important that you drink enough water. And then also, sorry, I just see Lolly in the chat say, no wine. There have been some studies that show that a little bit of wine can be helpful, Lolly, but I don't have that in my slides. Sorry. Let's see. The other thing you want to do in terms of healthy living, when you think about taking care of yourself, is you want to go for a regular checkup with your doctor after a certain age. So at my age, I actually go for a checkup every year. Once a year, I go and see the doctor. Even if I'm not sick, I go for a regular checkup. People also go to the dentist for their teeth for a regular checkup. They might go to their eye doctor for a regular checkup. But it's important, especially after the age of 40 or 45, that you go for a regular checkup. So regular checkups are good. And sometimes the doctor will do what's called a physical. A physical is when they just do some blood tests. They check every part of your body to make sure things are good. They'll check your blood pressure, your pulse, and a few other things. So a regular checkup is a good thing to do. Hey folks, we're going to jump over and do some questions right now. Give me 1 sec to get some questions on the screen. As I'm doing that, I do want to thank all of the people who are watching. I haven't checked the number yet, but I will check in a sec. Vito has the first question. So 432 people. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this English lesson about healthy living. Vito says, hi, Bob. Sometimes going cold turkey is the only way to quit bad habits and live a healthy life. Excellent question/statement, Vito. Cold turkey is a great phrase. When you quit something cold turkey, it means that one day you do it and the next day you don't. So let's say you are someone who smokes cigarettes and then you decide you're going to quit cold turkey. That would mean right in that moment, you just crumple up your cigarettes and throw them in the garbage and you don't smoke ever again. So that would be different than slowly smoking less every day. Okay. And I would agree, quitting bad habits is one of the things you do need to do to live a healthy life. Let's see here. Oh, I want to give a shout out to Rod, the Brazilian English teacher. I see him in the chat there, chatting with Corey J. Hi to Corey J as well. Good to see you in the chat here, there, Rod. Let's get to the next question. So prudence in adjusting to a new diet is something people often forget about. It's really hard to start to eat healthy if you are used to eating bad food. So Leo has a good point. It can be hard to commit. It can be hard to be diligent when you start a new diet. So a diet is when you change the foods you eat. Maybe you decide you're going to eat more fruits and vegetables. We would say that you need to get used to a new diet. Let's see here. Henry from Taiwan says, hi, Teacher Bob. Today is Lunar New Year's Day. Oh, Happy New Year to everyone way over there on the other side of the world. During the holidays, family and friends are essential to a healthy and happy life. So, Henry, you are correct. And that's one of the things that people really miss. The other day on my channel, I put up a poll and I asked people, what do you miss the most? And the number one result was people missed going out to eat with family and friends. There were 5 options there. Being around people, being around family or friends is definitely a way to a healthy and happy life. I would 100% agree with that. Let's see here. Ruslan says, hello, teacher Bob. How are you, sir? I'm good, Ruslan. What is your favorite healthy food? I'm crazy about dates and cashew nuts. My favorite healthy food would probably be a banana. And I've also started eating an apple every day. Now, I know bananas have lots of natural sugar, and some people think bananas aren't good for you. But as most of you know, I eat a banana every day, and that is my favorite healthy food for sure, 100%. Let's see here. So Eaglefly, hi Eaglefly. Hello, Mr. Bob. Cheers from East Timor. Here is my question. What is the difference between vegan and vegetarian? So I'm not 100% sure. I'll tell you this though. Vegans and vegetarians do not eat meat. So I'm going to look up what the exact difference is. So vegetarians avoid all kinds of meat and eggs. And let's see here for vegans. Yeah, sorry, I don't know the exact difference, Eaglefly. Let's see here. So if you're vegan, you're stricter. You also do not drink milk. You don't eat eggs or use honey or any animal products. So it's simply, veganism sounds like a stricter form of vegetarianism. So there you go. I learned something new every day as well. Natalia, 2 healthy living questions. Please explain these 2 proverbs. 1, what can't be cured must be endured. And 2, after dinner, sit a while. After supper, walk a mile. So the first one simply means that if you, let's say, like my knee hurts all the time, and the doctor has told me there's no way to fix it, but your knee works fine. So instead of curing it, I just have to endure it. I just have to realize my knee is going to hurt a little bit my whole life. And then number 2, after dinner, sit a while. After supper, walk a mile. So dinner can refer to lunchtime. So they're saying after lunch, just sit. But when you have your supper, you should walk afterwards, probably because it's healthy to go for a walk. Let me see here. Let me do a couple more questions and we'll get back to the lesson. We says, good morning, teacher Bob. What are things you do in the morning for healthy living? So I really like going for a walk in the morning. And I'll be honest, I've been going for a walk usually after work lately. But when I was teaching from home, I would get up and go for a walk first thing in the morning. I would even go for a walk before breakfast. And that was very enjoyable for me. And I think that was very healthy. And then the second thing would be to try and eat a very healthy breakfast for sure. I just want to make sure people aren't arguing in the chat. Let's see here. Everything looks good. Sometimes when we talk about certain topics, people get in arguments, but that's not happening this morning. Oh, here's Rod. This is kind of funny. Rod's question actually mentions, Mr. Bob, besides taking a walk every morning, what else do you do to keep healthy and slim? Thank you. Have a great Friday. So yes, I do like to go for a walk every morning. I wish I could go. I often wish I could wake up super early at 5 a.m. and go for a walk and work out, but I like sleeping too much. What else do I do, Rod? I try to eat a lot of fruit and vegetables every day. So I have a banana, an apple, usually broccoli, cucumbers, some sort of green beans. I really try to eat healthy. I'm not that good at it, but I succeed most days. Let's see here. So Tai Hoa says, hi, Bob, what lifestyle type do you live? So I think I live a relatively healthy lifestyle. So when you use the word relatively, it means like almost. So I know what it means to live a healthy life. I know what healthy living is. And if there was a scale of 1 to 10, If 10 was healthy living, I think I'm an 8, a 7 or an 8. That's the lifestyle, I would say, a relatively healthy living. Let's see here. Mohammed. Hi, Mohammed. How are you doing, Bob? Since I'm a medical student, I suggest all of you to follow a healthy diet that consists of natural honey and thyme, especially in this situation. Take care. So honey is something that's amazing. I usually drink tea with honey during my live streams, and I've kind of stopped doing that. But Mohammed, maybe I will start doing that again. Maybe a little bit of sweet honey in my tea might be just what the doctor ordered. See, that's a phrase we use in English, right? Someone will say, yep, I'm eating a lot of green vegetables. It's just what the doctor ordered. So sometimes the doctor tells you how to eat. Let's see here. Isam is here. Isam says, good morning, Teacher Bob. How are you? There is no question today, but I'm curious to know how you are feeling. I suppose that you are good. Please come to Israel. Yes, I'm feeling really good. I have been diligent about going for a walk. When you're diligent, it means you do it all the time. And I just need to lose a few pounds. I'll talk about losing weight later in the lesson, though. Let's see here. Let's get back to the lesson. Let me check my time. We're good. So healthy food. We mentioned this a little bit in the questions earlier. You want to eat healthy food if you want to be a healthy person. And this is different around the world, but the general theme, or what we all have in common, is that we need to eat a certain amount of fruits and vegetables every day, okay? And they usually recommend that you eat more vegetables than fruit. Fruit can have a lot of sugar in it. So in Canada, the government makes something called a food guide. And the food guide tells you how many fruits and vegetables you should eat in a day. And they are telling us that we should eat 10 fruits and vegetables every day. And of that, 7 of those should be vegetables. So I don't know if you eat that many fruits and vegetables. The North American diet has a lot of meat and a lot of bread in it, okay? So we eat a lot of things that have a lot of wheat flour. We eat a lot of things that have meat on it if we aren't vegetarian or vegan. So the North American diet is not a very healthy diet. We don't eat a lot of beans in our diets. We don't eat a lot of fruits or vegetables unless we decide to. So in order to be healthy, in order to be a healthy person, you need to eat healthy food. And then we have this phrase, a balanced diet, or term. A balanced diet is when you have the right amount of every type of food. So you have the right amount of meat if you're someone who eats meat. You have the right amount of fruit and the right amount of vegetables. It's very important to eat a balanced diet, as opposed to a diet where you eat too much of one kind of food. I know if I'm given the choice, I will eat far too much bread. I really like bread. I could eat bread for every meal of the day and be super happy, but that's not a healthy thing to do. And another thing that they recommend is that you eat home-cooked meals. So a home-cooked meal or homemade food is food that you make in your own kitchen. This is different, of course, than food from a restaurant. So they highly recommend, in order to be healthy, that the majority of the food you eat is home-cooked food or homemade food, okay? So all of us probably grew up eating homemade food or home-cooked meals. But then when you get a bit older, when you get your first job, you might start to eat at a restaurant once a week, maybe twice a week. Maybe you buy lunch every day. That's not considered super healthy. Not always. It depends where you buy your food from. But they definitely recommend that you eat home-cooked meals or homemade food. You could use those two phrases interchangeably, by the way. And then here's the big one, fruits and vegetables. Yes, you are supposed to eat your fruits and vegetables. Again, it can be hard for some people like me. If you like bread, it's hard to eat 7 vegetables a day and 2 or 3 fruits a day. But definitely, they highly recommend that you eat your fruits and vegetables. And again, when I say they recommend, I'm talking about like the Canadian government sends out a food guide and it says you should be eating these foods every day on a regular basis. Let me see, just checking here. Sometimes you need to kick a habit. We had this phrase earlier in the lesson. There are many things that we do in life that aren't good for us, and they become a habit. A habit is something you do every day or many times during the day. And sometimes you want to kick a habit. When you kick a habit, or if you kick the habit, it means that you stop doing it. So if you are, again, a smoker, you might want to kick the habit. It might be a habit that you want to kick. That means that you stop doing that. And then another thing that might contribute to healthy living is to take vitamins. So I take a vitamin every morning. I'm actually not sure vitamins work or not, but it seems like a good idea. So I take a vitamin every morning with breakfast so that I get my vitamin C, I get my vitamin D, and I get my calcium and other minerals. So I take a vitamin every day. I think it's a good idea, but some people say it's better just to eat a balanced diet, and then you will get all your vitamins and minerals from your food. I'm not sure if you understood that, but if you eat a balanced diet, you shouldn't need to take vitamins. But I take one every morning, just in case. That's my theory. Hey, I'm going to talk a little bit about things that aren't good for healthy living. So the first thing is stress. So there's a few things that make it hard to be a healthy person. There are things that make it difficult to live a healthy life. And one is stress. Stress can come from your job. You might have a stressful job. Stress can come from school. If you're a student, you might find it very stressful to be a student. Stress can come from other people. Maybe you don't get along with people in your family, or maybe you and a friend aren't getting along, or maybe you're not getting along with your spouse. All of those things cause stress. And stress is when you worry about something a lot, when you're concerned about something a lot, and it's all you think about, and it makes it hard to do other things. So stress is one thing that one of the first things they recommend in order to have a healthy life is that you de-stress, or you find ways to manage your stress. That might mean finding a different job. That might mean maybe taking less courses each semester, but sometimes it's good to get rid of stress in your life. A little bit of stress is good, but too much stress is bad. There is a theory that sugar is not good for you. I'm not going to say that sugar is bad. What I will say is that North Americans consume too much sugar, okay? So it is nice to have some sugar in your coffee or tea. It's nice to have a treat once in a while, like a cookie. But in North America, we put sugar in everything, okay? So we even have, our bread has sugar in it. Our cereal has sugar in it. Almost everything you buy has sugar added to it. So Jen and I actually try not to eat too much sugar. In fact, right now we're trying to not eat any sugar at all. We're trying that for a little bit. But sugar is okay, but too much sugar is bad. It's the same as stress, right? A little bit of stress is okay. Too much stress is bad. A little bit of sugar is okay. Too much sugar is not good. And that's right before Valentine's Day, isn't it? So people are giving each other chocolates and sweets this weekend, probably on Valentine's Day. But yes, sugar. And then here's another big one, and this is very common to North Americans. We have a lot of fast food available to us. There are a lot of fast food restaurants in Canada, and there are a lot of fast food restaurants in the United States. And it's very convenient. It's very nice to be able to just go and get a hamburger and fries really quickly, but it's not very healthy food. It has a lot of fat in it. It has a lot of sugar in it. I think even French fries have sugar on them a little bit. I think they have dextrose or something, but certainly ketchup, the ketchup you put on your hamburger has sugar. The bun has sugar in it, and there's a lot of fat as well. So fast food is another thing you want to avoid. And again, fast food every once in a while, like fast food twice a month, It's probably okay. Fast food every day for lunch is probably not good if you want to live a healthy life. And then we have what's called processed food. So this is a little bit hard to explain, but processed food is food that's ready to eat. You just need to heat it up. So this is a frozen pizza. When you go to the store, you can buy a frozen pizza where they made the dough or the crust in a factory, and they made the pizza in a factory and then froze it. This food, what we call processed food, usually has too much salt and too much sugar in it and lots of preservatives. Preservatives are things that keep food fresh for a very long time. So processed food is not considered good. Again, a little bit of processed food is okay, but if you're eating pre-made meals every day, that's probably not a good idea. Remember, you're supposed to eat homemade meals. That's usually the best thing to do. Let's see where we're at here. Let's go to some questions, everybody. And let me just make a small change here for a sec. As I do that, I want to say hi to the 512 people watching. It's awesome to see all of you here. So what we're going to do right now is it is members only chat time. So if you are a member, did I do that correctly? Just one sec here. I might have clicked the wrong button. Yeah, I think I did it right. I don't see it. It's not showing up on the screen. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, we're fine. So I will answer questions from the forum, but also if you are a member and you would like to ask a question in the chat, go ahead and do that. Let me get the next question ready. So Dima says, hello, Mr. Bob. My question is, do you have a balance between work and relaxing? It depends on what time of year it is, Dima. Right now, I was just really busy for a couple weeks. And right now things are slowing down a little bit again because we went from semester 1 to semester 2 at work. I teach at a high school. So it got really busy for a bit, but now I'm back into a routine. I'm back in the swing of things. So it's a little nicer. Let's see here. Mawako says, from the book I recently read, I learned that fasting 16 hours a day makes us super healthy. What do you think? It says that giving our organs enough rest is good for our health. You know, that's becoming popular in North America as well. It's called intermittent fasting, where you don't eat after your last meal at night, and then you don't start eating again until later in the day, the next day, or other variations of it. I think it's probably a good idea. I think it is. It's probably very natural. Evgeny says, good morning, teacher. What do you prefer the most after a very tough week? To get enough sleep or to walk and other exercise? So when I come home from work later today, I will want to lay on the couch and have a nap, but I will probably force myself to go for a walk. So what do I want to do? Sleep. What will I do? I will go for a walk because that is the healthier thing to do. Al Gore says a gyro is healthy for the food pyramid standpoint. Lots of vegetables, a little bit of grilled meat, and a bit of bread. Probably it's like a balanced meal all in one package there. Let's see here. Semra says, awesome to see you. Hi, Semra. Good to see you as well. Ricardo, hello, Teacher Bob. My question is, things moved on me for a sec. Do you have restaurants that make pizza with firewood? Yes, we do have some. They're kind of a fancier restaurant, and the pizza is usually a little more expensive, but it's very tasty. Corey J says, my best friend in life, my bike, instead of taking a car, it's free and very healthy. Yes, many Europeans bike. They bike to work, they bike to school. And I just think, Corey J, it's just a healthy thing to do. When I see videos of people in Europe, I feel like it's just common to jump on your bike and go to work. So, and it's free. You're right. Julia Olise, hi, dear teacher. Please, could you explain the expression feeding frenzy? Is it only about food or also has indirect meaning? So you can say there's like a feeding frenzy. It's when everyone's trying to do something at the same time, and it doesn't have to just be food, okay? So you could, let's say the prime minister was meeting with the journalists outside of the, let's say the prime minister was meeting with journalists, and they're all trying to ask questions at once. You could describe it as a feeding frenzy. So Pavel says, white sugar, salt, and flour are so bad. They are finding out that Too much of all of those things is definitely bad, Pavel, for sure. Rod, Mr. Bob, what's your favorite weight training or cardio when you were at the gym? So I haven't been to the gym for a long time. I did have a gym membership before COVID started. I like doing all the machines. So you can set the weight and then you lift. You set the weight and then you lift. So I would say I liked the machines, but I do like the treadmill in the winter. A treadmill is what you walk on, and the belt moves. So that's kind of nice. SEO says, hi, Bob, a smile is good for your health. Yes, there's a phrase about that. If you smile, the world smiles back at you. I'm not saying this right, but if you cry, you're alone. So when you smile, people most likely will smile back. It's one of the things I miss right now as a teacher is we can't see each other smiling. Let's see here. Corey J, do you use the expression fit as a fiddle in Canada or in the US? We do, but it's an older phrase. Yeah, it's not very common, but if you said it, people would understand you. But it's something like my mom would say. I hope my mom's not watching. Let's see here. Lolly Lolly, Bob, I remember you have a heart condition, so your lifestyle is very healthy. Can we say it was a blessing in disguise? Yes, definitely. So I had heart surgery a couple years ago. And I think having that early in life made me change how I live. It changed what I eat, and it makes me exercise more. So if I hadn't had heart surgery, I probably would be much bigger and I probably wouldn't be as healthy. Alexi says, is there a general term for activities like hiking, backpacking, and others, a means of travel in the wild with a tent and so on? We would just say hiking, camping, spending time in the outdoors, or spending time in nature. Yeah, backpacking and hiking are very similar. But yeah, there's kind of specific words for each of those activities, Alexi, but we would, in general, just say you're spending time outdoors or in the outdoors. Hey, Ming Yi, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Bob. By learning with you, I have improved my CELPIP score. That's awesome. I should clap. Nice work. Have a great day. That's awesome. Thank you. Thanks for the super chat. And more importantly, congratulations on improving your score. That's awesome. Al Gore. Hi, Bob. It looks like our metabolism slows down with age. Yes, that's true. Do you take any measures like more activities, less food? I struggle to control food, but I try to compensate it with sports. So yes, Al, I 100% agree. When I was in my 20s, I could go to McDonald's and I could eat a Big Mac and a large fry and a chocolate shake and an apple pie for dessert, and it had no effect on me. I didn't gain weight. Right now, if I went to McDonald's and ate that, I wouldn't need to eat for another day. That would be enough food for me for a whole day, probably, or more. So definitely, the older you get, metabolism is the speed that your body digests food and uses energy. It definitely slows down. Sorry, metabolism is the rate at which your body uses energy. So it definitely slows down. Lolly says, merci, Bob. Al Gore says, stepped, of course. What's the difference between hiking and climbing? So hiking is just you're on paths and you maybe go up and down slightly. Climbing is when you actually go up a cliff or a mountain. Al Gore, I just stepped off the treadmill to watch your lesson. Very cool. I actually know there's people who watch my lessons when they're on the treadmill, so that's cool as well. For those of you who are watching, if you're wondering why I'm not answering this question, I'm answering questions from the chat right now, and I'll do that for a couple more minutes, and then we'll get back to the lesson. Evgeny, if you get enough hugs, you're probably a healthy person. Yes, hugs are helpful as well. Hugs and smiles are in short supply right now. In English, when you say something's in short supply, there's not very much of it. So I have not given my mom a hug for a year. It's been like a year since I gave my mom a hug. And everyone wears masks, so you can't see people smile. So it's sad. Let's see here. Dear Agnes is here. Hi, dear Agnes. Hello, everyone. Happy Chinese New Year. Happy Chinese New Year to you as well. Rod says, when this pandemic ends, I'll have 25 hours a day at the gym. Yeah, I think that I'll have to go to the gym quite a bit too. Let's see here. I'm going to go to the next question from the forum. Let me pull that up. If you're members and you still have questions, throw them in the chat. Yaroslav. Hi, Teacher Bob. How do you think, does learning a foreign language help to live healthy? I think so. I think it fits the category of taking care of your mind. You know, you want to take care of your mind and body. I think learning a language is really good for your brain, especially as you get older, for sure. Let's see here. So Raman says, hi, Bob from Azerbaijan. My question is, how can we use fit and shape in an accurate sentence? What is the difference between those words? Thanks. So when you say someone is in shape or in good shape, or if you say someone is fit, it means the same thing. It means it's obvious that they probably run or exercise or work out. So they would be very slim, and they would be, and it might be that they're, how would you say this? Maybe they weren't in good shape and now they are. Maybe they worked really hard to get in good shape. But if you say someone is in good shape or someone is fit, it means the same thing. Let's see here. Corey J, do you use the expression fit as a fiddle in Canada? Yeah, it's an older phrase. I think we already did that question maybe. Yes, maybe Corey missed it. I'll answer it again. It's an older phrase, Corey. So you will hear it, but it's not super common. My students at school wouldn't use that phrase. Julia, thank you, dear teacher. I don't remember when I heard that expression, but I wrote it down to ask you, and now I understand. It's very clear. Awesome. Maudie talking to Brent. Good to see that. Yes, Rod says, it's been a year that I don't go to my office. Yeah, it's kind of a weird, I think it's weird that it's almost been a year. I find that quite strange that it's almost been a year. Hey, give me a sec here to turn the members only chat off. As I'm doing that, I do want to say thank you to everyone who is a member. You guys are awesome. But thank you as well to the 538 people watching. You guys are awesome too. It's a lot of fun for me to teach a little bit of English on a Friday morning. So thanks for being here. Marco says, hello, Teacher Bob. How do you care? Oh, what do you think about oil usage when you are cooking? Here we use most of the time coconut oil and olive oil. So Marcos, we use mostly olive oil. And then when we bake, we use canola oil. Olive oil is supposed to be a healthier oil. Canola oil is not considered healthy, but it's cheap. So we have to think about what we're going to use going forward. Hey, let's get back to this lesson. There's a word in English called workaholic. When someone is a workaholic. Remember, we're talking about things that aren't healthy right now. A workaholic is someone who works too much, okay? A workaholic might work 6 days a week. A workaholic might work 7 days a week. A workaholic might work long hours. They might go to work in the morning at 5 a.m. and they maybe don't come home from work until 10 p.m. So a workaholic, it's a good way to make money, but it's not a good thing to do to be healthy. So that's the term we use, workaholic. It's similar to the word alcoholic. Someone who drinks too much is called an alcoholic. So I think we made a new word 30 or 40 years ago. I'll have to research that. Workaholic, someone who works too much. In North America, we have a growing problem of obesity. Many people are obese in Canada and in the United States. We eat too much food. This is something that makes me sad for a few reasons. One is there are places in the world that don't have enough food. And here we are in Canada and the United States eating too much food. That does not seem just to me. That's an injustice. And then the other thing is North Americans aren't very active and we eat too much of the wrong kind of food. So we become obese. When you're obese, it means you're overweight. And I wanted to mention as well, we don't often say that someone is fat, okay? So if you see a man in the park and he's obviously eaten far too much for years and years, you wouldn't say that man is fat if you were talking to someone. You would probably describe him as being overweight. They mean the same thing, but saying someone is fat is kind of rude. If you were to talk to the person who was overweight, you would not mention that they were overweight. So let me give you a better example. If Jen and I were sitting at the mall and we saw someone walk by who was really big, we might say, oh, that person is a little bit overweight. We wouldn't say, oh, that person is fat. And then obese is more of the medical term. If someone is obese, it means that they are overweight. So seconds. So I'm not sure if you know what this word means when you're talking about food, but when you go for seconds or when you have seconds, it means you're having a meal and you finish eating everything on your plate and then you go and get more food. So imagine you're at a party. Let's say you're at, I don't know, a party where you're having food with your family and everyone gets a plate of food and everyone eats their food. And then when your plate is empty, if you go and get more food, we say that you are having seconds or you're going up for seconds. A lot of times when we're at Jen's parents', when all of Jen's brothers and sisters and nieces and nephews are there, we have a large meal. And then at a certain point, Jen's dad will say, there's more food if anybody wants seconds. And that means that you can go up and get a second plate of food. So seconds. The word seconds has many meanings in English. One of them refers to food and having another plate of food. So I'm going to talk a little bit about weight. So when you eat too much, you gain weight. When you eat less or when you're on a diet, you lose weight. Okay. So again, gain weight means you're getting bigger, your face is getting chubby, and you're putting on weight. You're gaining weight. Oh, that's another phrase, by the way. You could say, I'm eating too much, I'm putting on weight. Or you could say, I'm eating too much, I'm gaining weight. Okay. If you eat too much, you gain weight. If you eat less, you will lose weight. So many people in North America would love to lose weight. They would love to lose a few pounds so that they could be less overweight. That's my goal, to lose a little bit of weight over the next little bit. When you really manage what you eat, we call it a diet. Okay, so if someone is on a diet, it means that they plan what they're going to eat throughout the day, and they plan to eat just enough food or to eat a little bit less food than what they need so they can lose weight. So that's the phrase, though. We say someone is on a diet. Oh, Joe's on a diet. He's trying to lose 10 pounds. Or Jill's on a diet. She's trying to lose 20 pounds. So when you are on a diet, it means you are really thinking clearly about what you're going to eat each day so that you can lose weight. So these two go together, lose weight and diet. We have diets that are called fad diets. A fad diet is a new diet that comes out and you read about it on the internet, like just eat grapefruits for a month and you'll lose weight. And then we also have what are called crash diets, where you eat way less food than what you need and you lose weight really, really quickly. When you are on a diet, we often use the phrase, watch what you eat. Like I could say, I'm going to watch what I eat this spring because I want to lose weight. I'm going to watch what I eat. If you want to lose weight, you need to watch what you eat. So it doesn't mean you're looking at it. It simply means that you are thinking about what you eat so that you're eating healthy food and so that you can lose weight. So definitely, if you watch what you eat, you are planning to lose weight. You might also count calories. So food has, let me make this a little bigger. I'm not sure you can actually read it. Maybe there you can. But you can see how it says oatmeal has 53 calories, banana 105 calories, egg 180 calories. Food has a certain amount of energy in it that your body can use. And when you count calories, you decide that you need a certain number of calories per day, and you only eat enough food for that amount of calories. Often when people are on a diet, they will count calories, okay? It might be kilojoules in different English-speaking countries. In Canada and the United States, it's called calories. So you'll know that, a banana has so many calories, cereal has so many calories, and you'll add them up. So let's see here. Let me get to the next slide. So there's two other phrases about managing what you eat. One is you might cut down on something. So let's say you put 3 teaspoons of sugar in your coffee every morning, and you say to someone, you know, I'm going to cut down on sugar. I'm only going to put 1 teaspoon of sugar in. Or maybe you're going to cut down on the amount of fats you eat, or you're going to cut down on the amount of bread you eat. That means you're eating this much and you're going to eat less. Okay, so that's to cut down. We have another word though, to cut out, or a phrasal verb. When you cut something out of your diet, you don't eat it at all. So you might say to someone, you know what, I'm going to cut out sugar. I'm not going to eat anything that has sugar in it. I'm going to cut out sugar because sugar is not healthy. So I'm going to cut it out. So cut down means you're eating this much, you're going to eat a bit less. Cut out means you're eating this much and you're going to stop eating it completely. People often will cut things out of their diet in order to be healthier. A couple of phrases here. One thing that we say in English is you need to stop and smell the roses. So if you're walking and there are roses growing there, you should stop and smell them. But this means more than that. It means that there are pleasant things in your day and you should stop and enjoy them. So it might just be playing with your kids. It might be reading a good book. It might be watching the sun go down. All of those things would qualify as smelling the roses. So if you do see a rose bush though, you should actually smell the roses. But what it also means is to just slow down and enjoy life. And then also we have a phrase, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. This is a really old phrase. I don't know if a lot of people say this anymore, but it was one of the phrases suggested to me when I was asking my family. And I thought that's a great phrase. Basically what it means is if you eat healthy, you won't need to go to the doctor as much. So we say it, in a simple way, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. If you eat an apple every day, you are less likely to have health problems. So whether it works or not, I don't know. We'll see. I've been eating an apple a day lately. But it doesn't just mean apples, of course. It does mean, of course, if you eat healthy, you will probably go to the doctor less. Hey, let's finish up this lesson by going through as many questions as I can. Let me just check how many I have left. There are quite a few. I'll see how many I can get through. I do have time here. So let me get back to the question form and let me get the next question. Artur says, hi, Bob. What kind of vegetarian meals do you like? What do you think about being veggie or vegetarian? So when I had heart surgery, they said the best diet for you is to become vegetarian. That is a heart healthy diet. And I didn't do it. I think I like ratatouille. That's a very cool vegetarian dish. But I'm not very good at it. I do like salads for lunch. My lunch is completely vegetarian, by the way. I don't eat meat at lunch, but that's not really being vegetarian. Let's see here. Island Resort. What is the difference between warm and worn? Sorry, this is not on topic, but I'll answer it anyways. When I wear this, I'm warm, okay? I'm not cold, I'm warm. But if this had a hole in it, it would be worn, okay? So when something is worn, also I could say this sweater's been worn too much. It's the past tense of wear, isn't it? Anyways, let's move on. Let's see here. Hi, Bob. Have you ever had a problem with your mental health in your life journey? If so, what did you do to get out of it? Can you give some advice? Greetings from Brazil. So, Roger, I've not struggled with mental health in a deep way or a serious way, but I think many Canadians and many people that live where you have a long winter, it can feel a little bit much after a while. It's a little overwhelming to be inside a lot and to have really short days. The way I combat that is I try to eat healthy. I try to go for a walk or get outside every day. And I do try to find activities I can do inside that bring me joy, like reading or playing video games. But again, I'm not an expert. And I think I've only really had it just once in a while in the winter where I feel kind of blah. I wouldn't say I was struggling with mental health, but certainly I think the base advice is get some activity, get outside, eat healthy, and then seek professional advice if you do need it, for sure. Let's see here. Talk Italian with Arone says, hi, Bob. I have a sedentary job, but in my spare time, I do lots of sports and exercise to be healthy. What's your favorite activity you do on your spare time? So nice use of sedentary. I have a sedentary job as well. Again, sedentary is when you sit a lot. So maybe you're a banker or a teacher. Actually, as a teacher, I don't sit too much. I think it's because of the restrictions due to COVID in my classroom. We have to stay in our desks, so that's different. So I like working on the farm, Arone. I know that's not exercise, but it's great outdoor time. So in the spring, summer, and fall, I like working outside with Jen on the farm. Again, I like walking. I do like Nordic walking. I have poles that I use when I walk. I think it's called Nordic walking. That would be it, I think. Maybe I'll get a canoe at some point and go in the river with my canoe, but haven't really thought about that. Let's see here. Marco says, how to keep a healthy life during the winter when people commonly eat more. Yeah, Marcos, that's my problem. I eat really healthy in the spring, summer, and fall. It's very easy to do. In the winter, it's hard because you just want it makes you feel happy to have a big belly full of hot food. And I eat too much in the winter. I don't have a solution for that, except hopefully spring comes soon. Let's see here. Annie says, hi, Bob. My question is about health insurance in Canada. In some countries, health insurance is compulsory. In some of them, the healthcare is required to pay in cash. Yeah, so in Canada, we pay a lot of taxes to the government, and then healthcare is free. Okay, so I can go to the doctor and it costs $0. I had heart surgery. It costs $0, but we do pay a lot of money in taxes for sure. Let me just check where I'm at here, everyone. I'm only going to be able to answer a few more questions. If I don't get to your question, sorry about that. Let's see. Vlad says, hi, Professor Bob. I hope you are doing well. Do you follow a healthy lifestyle? If yes, how do you do it? Thanks in advance. Have a wonderful day. So some of the same things that help you be a good English student can help you live a healthy life. So something like this, I like to keep track of how many steps I do every day. And I try to get 5 days a week where I get more than 10,000 steps. And the fact that I track it, the fact that I know if I've done it, helps me stay motivated. The same works for learning English, by the way. If you write down every day on the calendar when you practice English, it makes you more motivated to practice English. Ahmad, hi teacher, how many hours do you sleep every night? Do you go to sleep at the same time every day? And what time do you get up? Thanks in advance. I sleep about 8 or 9 hours every night. That sounds like a lot to some people, but I love it. I go to bed around 10 o'clock. I get up around 6:30, okay? It depends though. Some days I sleep in. Lately, it has been easier to sleep in because we were teaching remotely and I didn't have to get to work. I could just get up, have some breakfast, start teaching. So I go to bed around 10 and I get up around 6:30, sometimes 7. Yeah. And yes, the same time every day. James Moon. Hi, Bob. To keep your body healthy, do you often work out at the gym? I used to go to the gym, but gyms are closed in Canada, so I don't have a membership anymore. Let's see. John. Hi, Bob. What's your favorite dish? Pizza. I really like pizza. There's a lot of dough in pizza, though. Giovanni. Hey, Mr. Bob. Which do you think is better to lose weight? Eat healthy foods or work out? You have to do both. You can still put on weight if you're working out if you eat unhealthy food. So I think you need to do both. Natalia says, hello, Mr. Bob. Do you have a greenhouse in your house? Do you grow vegetables on your farm? No, we only grow flowers. But at the market where we sell our flowers, we trade flowers for vegetables and for fruit. It's a very good deal. The people beside us at market grow fruits and vegetables, and we trade flowers. Sudi, hey Bob, what do you suggest to keep mentally healthy? I've been recently under extreme mental pressure, which caused me many physical health problems. So this is very true, and that's a good point, Sudi. When you're under a lot of stress, it can actually make you physically sick. I don't know, Sudi, it's hard to give advice on that because everyone's situation is different. But I would look at things like, whatever is causing your stress, can you make a change? And if not, are there things you can do or someone you can talk to help you a little bit? That would be my feeling on it. Give me a sec here. Get the next question. Andrew, hi, dear teacher. Thank you for your lessons. No problem. Do you often find yourself under stress? I think the most important thing for our health is our good mood. So my stress is different depending on the time of the year. August and September, I have a high level of stress because I go from summer and I go back to work. At the end of January, the beginning of February, I have a high level of stress because one semester at school is ending and I have to do a lot of work and a new one is beginning. At the end of June, I have a lot of stress because the semester is ending and I have a lot of work to do. So for me, it depends on the time of year. And sometimes I have more stress. At some points in the year, I have more stress than other points of the year. Ricardo, hello, Teacher Bob. How are you? My question is, in Canada, do you have fresh fruits and the price is good? Thanks. We have fresh fruit year round because of our American cousins in Florida and California. So in Canada, the vast majority of our fruits and vegetables in the winter come from the state of Florida in the United States or from the state of California. So we have fresh fruits and vegetables year round thanks to those growing regions. It's very, very helpful. Naomi, hi Bob, do you have any particular thing you do to cope with stress or difficulties you might have? Thank you in advance. You would be amazed, Naomi, at how good you feel after you go for a walk. And not just a slow walk, like a fast walk. If I go for a 40-minute walk or a 45-minute walk, I feel a lot more relaxed afterwards. It's probably the number one thing I would recommend to people if they want to de-stress, is go for a walk. Let's see, Harry Potter fan. Hi, Bob. How can we keep fit if we don't have special equipment to make or to play a sport? I don't know. Running, hiking, soccer's pretty cheap. You just need a ball, I think. Or maybe just, let me see here. Get a dog and take your dog for a walk every day. That might be expensive though. So Semra says, hello, Bob. That's awesome to see you again. Hi, Semra. My question is so common. What is your favorite processed food? I think I know your processed food. It starts with a P. I do like frozen pizza. I like homemade pizza. I like pizza from restaurants. And I also like frozen pizza. That would be probably my favorite processed food. From Morocco, I'm a stressful person because of school and I don't know how to control it. What's your advice? That's a hard one. School can be very stressful. I would say, number one, talk to your teachers and professors a lot about what's happening in your life. Make sure that they are aware of it, if that is possible. I know in some countries, teachers aren't as maybe open to talking about your life problems. And then secondly, find people to study with. Find people from your class where you can get together in a group after class and study. That can be very, very helpful for students. Thonak says, hello, Bob from Haiti. I always listen to you, but my problem is that I cannot understand perfectly and I don't have anyone to practice. What should I do to be perfect? Well, keep listening. Listening is a very important thing to do, and you can't do too much of it. Just listen as much as you can. Not just to me. Watch TV, listen to music, listen to English songs, etc. And you do have to find someone somehow. I'm not sure how to do it, but in order to have good conversations, you will need to find someone to talk to at some point. Let's see here. You know what, folks? There's a few questions left, but I have to wrap this up. Let's see here. Al Gore says, there is also a phrase to be low on something. You can have low blood sugar. So sugar goes in your blood, in your veins, and you can say, oh, I'm really tired. I think I have low blood sugar. I haven't eaten enough today. Let me get to the next one. Next one is not on topic, so I'm going to skip it. Katerina says, hello, Bob. Are there any vegetarians or vegans in your family? Does your school have any vegan options? Yes. My school cafeteria has many vegan options. It's very common in North America that if you go to a restaurant, they will have vegetarian or vegan dishes available to you. But no one in my family is vegan that I know of. Irene says, hi, Bob the Canadian. Thank you for your videos. Always watch them. Have you ever heard about sugar tax? In Norway, for example, is there a sugar tax in Canada? There is currently no sugar tax in Canada, but they are thinking of having one. A sugar tax is when the government puts an extra tax on sweet things like soda or pop or Coke, those kinds of things. We do not have that right now, but I think it might be coming someday. We'll see. Let's see. Hi, Bob. This is from Eric. Hi, Bob. Is a balanced lifestyle considered a healthy one? Yes. If you have a balanced life where you have good balance between school and home, between work and life, I think that that is a healthy life. And last question from Raja. What kind of people are there in Canada? Are they always busy? We are a busy country. Yes, we are definitely a country where people are very, very busy. In fact, because we're all home for the last year, we've found new ways to relax because we've been a very busy country in the past. Canadians are very busy people. I think we're getting used to a bit of a slower pace though. Anyways, folks, I need to go to work. So I'm going to say bye. Thank you so much to the 536 people who are here and watching. You guys are awesome. I hope that you have a good Friday. I know some of you are done work. I still have to go to work. I have to go right now. And so I think that, yeah, we should wrap this up. There will be a live lesson tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, don't forget, if there were parts of this lesson that you didn't understand, I will have a new version out in a couple days, which should have automatic subtitles. So if there were parts you didn't understand, you can come back and listen to it. I'm not going to be able to stick around and say bye to everyone in the chat today, so I'll just say bye right here. Bye, everybody. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another live stream. But I'm just going to wave and say bye. I'll wave with this hand.